Welcome back to the online sessions on fuzzy logic. In the last class, we are done with some of the methods, around 5 methods on the defuzzification process. So in that, what is defuzzification we discussed? So defuzzification is nothing but conversion from fuzzy data into the crisp data. So fuzzy data is the data which is normally produced by the fuzzy system, and that data has to be converted into the user readable data called as crisp data. So that process of conversion from fuzzy data to crisp data is known as the process of fuzzification. So in that we discussed first method going to be the maximum membership principle method. So what this maximum membership principle we going to have, it gives us the maximum membership value of a fuzzy function. So here what we'll do now, whatever is going to be the maximum membership value corresponding to that maximum membership value, we're going to get the crisp data. So that means this is nothing but the fuzzy data, small x is fuzzy data, mu a of x is nothing but equal to the membership function. So wherever you're going to have the maximum membership function, there we normally going to get the crisp data. So this x star becomes equal to 7 crisp data because it is happening at the maximum value. Whichever is the maximum, that has to be taken. That is what called the maximum membership function relationship, and it is governed by the mathematical equation as mu a of x star greater than or equal to mu a of x, obviously for all x belongs to capital X. So whatever the membership function you get, it should be compulsory the maximum value, okay, for all this particular mu a of x. That is what the relationship we have. The next function that we discussed is mean maximum membership function. It is also known as middle of maximum method. So first of all, locate the maximum membership value which is there in this particular set. So this is the, in this graph, if you see, now this is nothing but a union of all the various fuzzy sets. Okay, so we can understand that this is a union of various fuzzy sets. So this function is given to us. So this membership function is given to us. Now from this, locate the maximum membership value. This is the maximum membership value. So in this, let us locate the edges until where this maximum membership value is going to be true. So until this transition, this maximum membership value is true. Here also until this transition, this max membership value is going to be true. Therefore, subsequently, we normally going to get the appropriate fuzzy set values like 5 and 6. Simply find out mean of these two values. If this is taken as A, this is taken as B, we take mean of these two, known as the crisp set value for us. So in this example, we have got this as 5, this as 7. Therefore, 5 plus 7 by 2 is 6. This 6 is known as the crisp set value for us. Now, what is the constraint here, limitation here? This particular method, mean maximum membership method, can be used only for symmetrical functions only. That is what the function which we're going to have. The next one that we can think of, we thought of as going to be like a weighted average method. So what is the formula for weighted average method? It is, as it is weighted, so therefore we have to put a summation symbol, mu x, mu of x into x by sigma of, once again, mu of x. So what is the difference between numerator equation and denominator equation? Only this dot x is not there. Multiplication of this x is not there in the denominator part. Rest of thing is going to be same. Now the same function I can write as equal to z star is equal to sigma of mu a of z into z by mu a of z. That means you can take the fuzzy values going to be as x or z or any other parameter for that matter. So we have, I gave you two examples of this. One example is going to be using trapezoidal functions, union of trapezoidal functions. Next one is going to be the triangular function. So in this triangular function, what is going to be the union of all these triangles? The union is going to be like this. This path I am going to get 0 to this value 0.6, then up to here, then this value, 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 then this. So that means this is going to trace out. When you trace out all this is going to be the resultant union of all these triangular fuzzy sets. Okay, anyway, this is what the two sets given to us. Say this set, how we write this set as now is equal to, using this formula, it is simply sigma of mu of x. See the maximum mu of x here, this is 1.0. Now locate the minimum, locate the center of this particular maximum fuzzy set value. and apply this formula. Okay, that means where the maximum weight is there for this set, for this subset, we have this maximum value here. So therefore I can write here, and here for this subset we have maximum value 0.7. So therefore we can write this as 0.7 into 3 plus 1 into 7 by 0.7 plus 1, and the resultant is going to be Z star is equal to 5.353, is known as the crisp data that we have got. Similarly, we can apply it for the for this particular fuzzy set, for this combination of fuzzy sets as something like this. So first of all, what is this maximum? I have 0.6. Now we are starting with here, in terms of this data, you can start it from x into sigma of mu of x also you can write. So here I am writing is something like 60 into 0.6 plus 70 into 0.4 plus 80 into 0.2 plus 90 into 0.2 plus 100 into 0. So that's why I just skipped that, divided by the sigma of mu x values, that is 0.6 plus 0.4 plus 0.2 plus 0.2. So when you solve for this, you get the x star is equal to 70. So that is nothing but the final value that we are going to have, which is nothing but the crisp data using this particular weighted average method which we have got. And once again, this method is also applicable only to the symmetrical functions. And next method we discussed about the center of sum method. In the center of sum method, we are going to use the centroid of the fuzzy set with respect to its area by summation of the areas of all the individual fuzzy sets. So here, how do we find out area? We found out area. We have found out area by using the formula called A. A is equal to half into base B1 plus base B2 into height H. So this is how the formula we have used. And we have the resultant form, the formula which we have used to compute crisp set is equal to sigma of Zi into ACI by sigma of ACI, where n is nothing but is equal to number of fuzzy sets. And we have shown here only one fuzzy set, but in the practical application, we're going to have several fuzzy sets combined. So this formula is applicable to the trapezoidal fuzzy set representation. If it is going to be triangular, we have to use the area for triangular. So area for triangle is going to be half into base into height. Okay, that is called area of triangle, basic formula we have. So we have to use that formula to get into the area, obviously. So like that, so here we are doing it for the trapezoidal function. So let us solve this now. AC1 is the area of the function. See, we have three such fuzzy sets. Now these three fuzzy sets, when they are combined, what is going to be the crisp set that we are normally going to find out here. So individually you have to do now. Individually, what is the center of this particular fuzzy set? Centroid of this Z1. Z2 is centroid of this fuzzy set C2. And Z3 is the centroid of fuzzy set C3. So A1, how do we find out A1 here? A1 is nothing but is equal to half into B1 plus B2 into height. So what is B1? This is B1. So this B1 I can get by using simply 4 minus 2 is 2. So 2 plus, what is B2? This is 5 minus 1, 4. So 2 plus 4 by 2 into, what is height here? Height is 0.2. So we get 0.6. Similarly, A2, half into B1. B1 is nothing but 6 minus 4, 2 plus 7 minus 3, 4 into 1. Then next one is A3 is equal to half into B1. What is B1? B1 is 5 minus 3, 2. B2 is 6 minus 2, 4. Into, what is the height? 0.4. So accordingly, we get A1, A2, A3 values. Then substitute them in the formula for the center of sum method. So Zi, now when you expand this formula, what I can write? I is going to vary from 1 to 3. Why 3? Because there are 3 fuzzy sets. So n is equal to 3. So therefore Z1 A1, Z2 A2 plus Z3 A3 by A1 plus A2 plus A3. So what is Z1? Z1 is centroid of this. It is nothing but is equal to 3 for us. 3 into What is center of this? Before this I have two elements, after this I have two elements. That means this is center. So 3 into A1 is 0.6. Similarly, center out of this is 5. Z2 is equal to 5 into 3. Similarly, 4 into 1.2 by sum of areas of all these sets. That is 0.6 plus 3 plus 1.2 I can write. So therefore, Z star is equal to 4.5. So this is what the crisp set, this crisp data we have got after conversion, after defuzzification. The next is first of or last of maxima. So that means in the when you go from left to right, when you go from left to right, whichever is the first maximum value of the membership, first maximum membership value, that has to be considered. So when you go from left to right, you have to consider. So first of maximum is equal to this one is first of maximum. Corresponding to that, what is the value? That is nothing but the crisp data for us. This is the method for first of maximum. What about last of maxima method? Last of maxima is nothing but in the process of this, whichever is the last maximum, that maximum value correspondingly you are going to get the fuzzy set data, that is known as the crisp data for us. This is what we have found out. Then last method, which is a lengthy process. Okay, the process is very simple, the equation is very simple, but you have to repeat the same task for many times. It is something like nesting of operations will be done here. So it takes time, little bit time to compute. So for me it took around half an hour time to compute for one set of data. Okay, so definitely you will be taking around half an hour to compute this set of data for this particular problem. So therefore you should be careful in doing this particular problem, because a small mistake will simply make the entire problem into wrong, because we will be finally getting the value of the crisp of the fuzzification. We will be getting finally the value of the fuzzification, sorry, value of the defuzzification. So if value goes wrong, means you get almost all 0 marks. So therefore you should be careful about using this. Okay, so you should observe this carefully, and you should practice them with care. Then only you can able to get the correct solution. So let us look into the center of the largest area method. If the fuzzy set has more than one subregions, so when you combine all these things, definitely we're going to get so many subregions like this. Okay, so when you, if the fuzzy set has more than one subregion, then the center of gravity of the subregion with the largest area can be used to calculate the defuzzified value. So this is the definition of this particular center of largest area method. So this is what we are going to do in the formula for the fuzzy set, for the defuzzification fuzzy set. In this formula, what is that? See, this is similar to the weighted sum method. In the weighted sum, we have used sigma of mu of x into x dx by sigma of mu x dx. Sigma of mu x we have written. So here this sigma is replaced with the integration. Sigma is replaced with integration. There we have written sigma of mu x into x by sigma of mu x. Here we replace this with integration, because we have to find out what, according to the definition, with the largest area can be used to calculate the defuzzification. That means everywhere we have to find out, keep on finding out the area in a continuous manner. This is nothing but a continuous fuzzy set representation. So therefore continuously we have to get, means what, you have to use the area function. So therefore we are going to use the area function. Now let us imagine that there are three trapezoidal functions given to us, three fuzzy sets given to us as the trapezoidal functions. So this particular function called as Z1, fuzzy set Z1 is varying from 1 to 5, where we get a maximum values between 1 and 4 is going to be core. So this area is going to be the core. What is most important is core is the most important uh, future membership value we are always going to consider here. Okay. So the next value is going to be what now? Next is going to be Z2. Z2 is going to have the core value between 4 to 6, whose values will be equal to 0.5. And Z3 core value is going to be between 6 and 7, whose value is going to be equal to 1. So now to solve this problem, we have to combine all the above fuzzy sets using the union operation, and we'll find out the Z star value from the resultant set. Now, once you combine, what is the resultant set we normally going to get? This is the resultant set we normally going to get. See here, this set is starting from 3. This is ending at 5. This is starting at 3. That means what? This function is, when it is superimposed on this, it is going to start like this from 3. So therefore, from 3 it is going to start like this. When you extend this, you will be getting 3 here. So from 3 it is going to start like this. So similarly, third function here, it is starting from 5. So that means it is starting from 5 means what? This is 5. When you extend this, it is 5. So when you combine all this, we normally going to get this method, this particular function. And we are solving this function by using a center of largest area method or centroid method in general. Now, why did I use this graph paper? I used this graph paper because we should get the appropriate values at the intersection of one fuzzy set with another fuzzy set, because these values we have to use in order to calculate the overall CRISP data. That is why I have used the graph paper. So in the exam also, try to use the graph paper when such a problem is given to you. So it is very important to solve with the graph paper. First of all, we should locate the values correctly to get the correct results. So anyway, the examiner is going to see the approximate value. Say for example, Z star is equal to 2.385 we have got. So at least he look into the value of 2.5 something nearer to that to give a full marks to you. So therefore, you should be careful while using the values here. That's why I use the graph paper. So in this graph paper, the function, I'm going to write this Z1. So the Z1 is ending at 5 actually. This is when you extend this, it extend up to 5. Second value is starting at 3. So therefore it starts from 3. And it is ending at, second function is ending at where? 7. So it should end at 7. It should end at this, when you extend this, end at 7. This one is starting at 5, third one, and ending at 8. So when you combine all this, you get this kind of a function. All right. Okay. So when you draw this carefully by using the graph paper, only you normally going to get appropriate values. So let us say this function A, the Z1 function is ending at this point. So this point on the CRISP data and the fuzzy set is going to be equal to 3.6. And this value is equal to 4 we have got. And the value of the second function ending is going to be D. This value we got as 5.5. So this I have taken a scale as, say, this is 1, I have taken 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is going to be 0.5, 1, 1.52, 2.53, 3.54, like that I have taken. On y-axis I have taken as equal to 0.1, each division, each unit is going to be 0.1. Okay, I've taken this each unit as, each subunit as 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. Each subdivision I've taken as equal to 0.1. So let us start doing this now problem now. So Z is nothing but is equal to, in this, what is Z? Z is the center of gravity of the fuzzy set CM, and CM is nothing but region with the largest area. So largest area we normally going to have. So we get the subregions of the graph as shown below. OA. Now we'll designate them with the letters OA. This is O to A. This is B. This is C. This is D, E, F, G. So this is the, we have to find out, keep on finding out the area OA, AB, BC, CD, DE, EF, and FG. Let us start locate the individual functions now. So in order to solve this, what we require the membership function we require, and we require Z also. So Z is going to be taken from this particular thing. So for to get Z, we should apply limits for each and every independent fuzzy sets in the union. So if you take this first fuzzy set Z1, it is varying from 0 to 3.6. Second fuzzy set is varying between 3.6 to 4. third graph is varying between 4 to 5.5. So like that we have to find out now first of all. So for OA, for this particular line OA, what is the value of mu? Mu is nothing but is equal to, what is the maximum value that I'm getting? 0.3. 0.3 into Z. See, this is a ramp signal. Ramp signal. So what is the equation for ramp? Linearly varying signal is called a ramp. So what is the equation for this? It is varying linearly with respect to x quadrant. So what is x quadrant that I have? X quadrant is Z I have. So therefore I am taking this as 0.3 Z is equal to mu. What are the limits? This particular line is varying between 0 and 1 it is varying. So the limits are going to be 0 to 1. Similarly, let us go with A to B now. What is for A to B? A to B is constant, 0.3. It is constant at 0.3, therefore mu is equal to 0.3. It is varying between 1 to 3.6. Limits are going to be for 1 to 3.6, it is varying. Then next we have to go for B and C. So BC, if you see, BC directly we cannot get, we have to use the points. Okay, because it is starting at middle. So therefore, for finding mu, find mu for the 2 points B and C. Now what is this point B? Point B, x coordinate is equal to 3.6, y coordinate is equal to 0.3. So x coordinate is 0.6, y coordinate is 0.3. And coming to C, what is x coordinate? 4, y coordinate is 0.5. So y coordinate is 0.5. So therefore it is this particular mu is varying with respect to x-axis between 3.6 to 4. So therefore 3.6 to 4. Similarly for CD, CD means what? Once again it is constant at 0.5. So therefore we'll take mu is equal to 0.5 over the limits 4 to 5. So it is extending between 4 to 5. Z is extending between 4 to 5. Then next we left over with DE. So this is DE. DE x-axis is going to be what now? 5.5. Y-axis is 0.5. What about E? X-axis is going to be 6. Y-axis is going to be equal to 1. So same thing, we're going to write it here for DE. And this DE is extending between what values? 5.5 to 6. See this 5.5 to 6 it is extending. Then EF, for EF, what is EF? It is going to be once again constant, it is equal to 1. So EF is equal to 1 constant, it is extending between limits 6 to 7. 6 to 7 if you see this carefully. So therefore 6 to 7 is the limits. Then FG, this is FG line. So this FG line we normally going to write it like with 2 points. F is at 7.7 comma 1, G is this 7 comma 8. Now we have to find out the equation for these lines, straight lines. So you have to use the formula for to find out equation of straight line. So what is the equation of straight line formula? We have y minus y1 by x minus x1, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 is the formula for equation of straight line we have. Okay, so we have to use this formula, that is y minus y1 by x minus x1 is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So for BC, just now we have got these 2 points, B as 3.6 comma 0.3, C is going to be 4 comma 0.5 over the limits. It is extending over the limits 3.6 to 4. So use this formula now. This is x1, y1, x2, y2. Please always follow the sequence. Try to go in sequence. So otherwise you get the wrong results. So y minus y1 by x minus x1. So therefore, what is y minus y1 is 0.3, x minus x1 is 3.6 is equal to y2 minus y1, 0.5 minus 0.3, x2 minus x1, 4 minus 3.6. Okay, now once you solve this, what are you going to get? You're going to get the equation as y is equal to 0.5x plus 1.5. Now, what is y? Y is the resultant. Where is the resultant? On the y-axis. On y-axis, what we have? The membership function mu. So this mu, so therefore I can write this as equal to y, I can replace with mu, x I can replace with z. Z is my fuzzy set value. So therefore finally I can write the equation as mu is equal to 0.5 z plus 1.5 over the limits 3.6 to 4 for this line BC. Similarly, CD is constant. Mu is equal to constant for CD line. So we don't consider. DE, yes, DE we got 2 points because it is not straight line. So we have to find out the equation of the straight line for DE. Then next FG also it is not straight line, you have to find out. So therefore we find out the straight line equation for BC, DE and FG only. So in the similar grounds, I'll go with for DE. D point is 5.5, 0.5. E is going to be 6, comma 1. So this is the points we have. So once again, I use the same formula. Y minus y1, y minus 0.5, y1, x minus x1, 5.5 is equal to y2 minus y1. Y2 is 1, x2 is, y2 is 1, y1 is 0.5. x2 is 6, x1 is 5.5. I got this relationship. Then using this relationship, this is 1 minus 0.5 is 0.5. It is going to be 6 minus 0.5 is going to be once again the 0.5, 0.5 will get cancelled. I get 1. So I can write this as equal to something like y is equal to x minus, so I get simply something like so it should be actually not 0.5 mistaken written here, it should be 5 here. So y is equal to x minus 5 is the correct answer, and this we can replace y with, we replace y with mu, x with z. Constant remains as it is. It should be 5, it should not 0.5 here. Mistakenly it has made as equal to 0.5. So please consider this as the equation now. Then equation for FG, let us go with the equation for FG. The point for F is going to be 7.1, G is 8.0. So y minus y1, y minus 1, x minus 7 is equal to 0 minus 1, y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1, 8 minus 7 I can write. So this value I can represent as y minus 1 is equal to, what is that I'll be having? It's something like minus x. Okay, this will be something like 0 minus 1 is minus 1, and this is going to be 8 minus 1 is going to be 8 minus 7 is 1, that is going to be minus 1. So this is going to be minus x plus 7 I can write. So y is equal to what I can have now, this 1 will be going on to the right hand side. So it is 7 plus 1, 8. So therefore mu is equal to minus x plus 8 I'll get. So therefore mu, I can write this y is equal to minus x plus 8. So I can replace y with mu. So therefore finally I'll get mu is equal to minus z plus 8. That is the equation. So finally we got the 3 equations. Now we'll substitute them in the formula for z star. So z star is equal to integral of mu of z dot mu of z into z dz by integral of mu of z into dz. So this is the equation which we have. Now I can divide this into numerator and denominator. We can solve numerator and denominator separately here. So now I know you can understand, you can easily solve this integration. Now what I am doing now, simply I am replacing this integration. I am writing this integration for the entire fuzzy set represented by using the membership function. So I can replace this with, now we start with 0 now. See the graph now. We have to start with 0. This portion I have to write the integration. For this portion integration, this integration, this one integration, this one integration, this one and this one. So I have to integrate all these parts to get the overall area of this particular graph. So therefore, I am simply substituting this. First 0 to 1, I have a ramp signal 0.3z into z dz plus next limit is going to be 1 to 3.6. Then mu value I got constant, so 0.3 into z dz, and next function is going to be bc. So what is bc? I got bc as 0.5z plus 1.5. So I'm replacing 0.5z plus 1.z into z dz over the limits 3.6 to 4. Okay, so like that, next thing is going to be, next one is once again constant. If you see this 0.5, 4 to 5.5 limits. So 0.5, 0.5, 4 to 5.5 limits into z into dz plus next value is going to be z minus 0.5. We got z minus 0.5 over the limits 5.526. So 5.526 is the limits, and like that we expand this for the rest of the things. Okay, fg, last one is fg, function is minus z plus 8 into z into dz over the limits 8 7 to 8, over the limit 7 to 8 I can write. Okay, 6 to 7 is going to be constant, so 1 into z is z dz. So this is what numerator. What about for denominator? Only this multiplication with z, the z is simply removed here. See here, 0.3z integral of 0.3z dz. Z is removed in this denominator part. Write the same equation by removing z here. Thereby we get the equation for denominator. Then once you solve this equation, how do you solve integration of this equation? 0.3 is constant, take it outside. This is going to be z square, integration of z square is equal to z cube by 3 over the limit 0 to 1. Similarly, I am going to have 0.3, take it outside, this is z. So integration of z dz is equal to z square by 2 over the limits 1 to 3.6. Like this, once you solve this entire equation, you are going to get the value of n is numerator is equal to 35.9085. Similarly, we solve the denominator here for this. That means what is denominator here? Integral of 0.3 integral of z dz. Integral of z is nothing but what? Z square by 2. Apply limit 0 to 1. Then I will be getting denominator as something like 12.605. Then numerator by denominator is nothing but is equal to crisp set. So once you do this, we're going to get 2.835 as the value of the crisp set for us. So this is the crisp data that we have simply got it over here. That means you have to, first of all, the only laborious process here is that you have to solve this entire integrations. So this is going to take a lot of time. This is going to take around 15 to 20 minutes time. So put together, you're going to, by solving these two is going to take around 15-20 minutes time. Put together around half an hour time will be taken for you to solve this particular problem. So whenever you have such sub-regions, so try to do with a graph paper. Why? Because see here we're getting 6.3.6, sometimes we get 3.8, sometimes we get 3.9. So like that, very close proximity values we're going to get. So these values you cannot locate when you simply draw on a piece of white paper. So try to draw these kind of graphs on a graph paper so that you get an appropriate solution. Okay, so this is what one of the example of this. In the next class, we'll go with another example to end up this particular unit. Thank you very much for the today's session.